The ending of that when spoiler alert, Jon Snow kills Khaleesi, right?
Yeah.
And the dragon's looking at him. And
What up, guys? Welcome back to the Confused Podcast. This week we got something a little different for you. We're going to be talking a little bit about cinema, entertainment, the differences and whatnot, and we're going to jump into that. But before we jump into that, we have a quick announcement. Devin, take it away.
announcement. Happy November 3rd, everyone, a.k.a. day to go out and vote. It's really important that everyone goes out and votes. Basically, your civic duty. It's an awesome right that we get in America that we don't get that people in a lot of other places don't get the right to do. So go out there and vote. Hopefully you voted early, and yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So, dude, right off the rip, I got a question.
What?
I was thinking about it, and I just want to know. Cinematic scenes, go ahead and name me two off the top of your head, like just display visual, like on screen, what was really dope. Like just something that really resonates in your mind.
I feel like I like different movies than you guys like. One, I think that
Brandy Love, in particularly.
Jessa Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jessa. Good old Jessa, baby.
Oh my God! You think that's definitely not her real name? Well, fuck it. I think I really am into and I know a lot of people have been saying, or they got awards for it. Was the Saving Private Ryan? They run onto the beach, the D-Day scene.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. Like people that have like fought in wars have been like, yeah, that's like the shit that happens. So I really like that. And then the other one is The Dark Knight. Any scene in that first movie with the Joker and the Batman, like that,
Rip Heath Ledger.
Dude,
that shit is unbelievable.
So there's actually two scenes from that movie that I was going to reference, but then there's a third that to me visually was one of like the best pieces of art that like I've ever seen on screen.
Okay.
So I'm just going to, before I get into the Dark Knight portion, I'm actually going to say after Khaleesi and Game of Thrones got done burning all of, what's it called? The city that she takes over and she kills all the kids and the families and everything with her dragon. It's in the final season. I forget the name of the place.
Where Khaleesi lives, that like main...
No, it's where Cersei and them stay.
Cersei, yes, Cersei.
King's Landing. After she goes into King's Landing and burns it all to hell or whatever,
Yeah.
and she takes over and she's finally like about to get the throne and whatever.
Yeah.
The part where the dragon drops her off and she's walking up to the stairs, right? And all of her army's out in the field and like she's walking up.
Oh,
And you don't see the dragon, but the dragon wings go out behind her. Dude, that shit to me was like one of the best visual scenes I've ever seen. That shit was fantastic.
That is sick.
I just want to say the reason why I'm sitting back, I have no fucking clue. I've never seen Game of Thrones. Don't come at me.
Bro, you're missing out,
It's
dude.
really good, bro. I said like if you've never seen it, I highly suggest it, bro. It's so good.
It's hard for me because if I haven't watched a series, especially like TV series or something like that, and there's so many episodes per season, and then there's a lengthy amount of seasons already, it's hard for me to get into it because then I feel like I got to catch up, and then I just binge watch and lose so much time, and I'm not productive.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing about Game of Thrones seasons though is they're only like 8 episodes long, but they can range from anywhere from 50 minutes up to an hour and a half in length. So like they're like movies though. But that's one of my favorite scenes that I've ever seen on TV.
I didn't get it. I watched a few episodes when I lived back home. Then when I moved down here, Greg and Aaron were talking about it, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna fuck it and watch it. And I really liked it. And I watched the whole thing in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, it was fantastic. I've watched it twice through. And the ending itself, like, I wish was a little different. I wish they did it differently.
Yes, fuck the
Because real talk, Khaleesi was one of the baddest bitches on TV I've ever seen. And I hate how all that shit got wrapped up. But that one particular scene, bro, like when I'm telling you, you're just watching it. And it's like this whole time she calls herself like the mother of dragons, bro. It literally looked like dragon wings were growing out of her fucking back. Like that shit was fantastic.
Dude,
all
right. Leave a comment if you agree. The ending of that when spoiler alert, Jon Snow kills Khaleesi, right?
Yeah.
And the dragon's looking at him. And the dragon's looking at him like, what the fuck did you just do? The dragon should have blown fire on him, and then he could have been like, what?
Yeah, you
bitch?
can't burn me.
I
Rogan.
love it when
Yeah.
women blow fire on me.
You
Sorry,
can't-
I have to have something to say. I
The
don't know
dra-
fucking
the
know what you're
the
talking
dragon's
about,
a dude,
but
I think. His name's like
I said women.
Drogon.
I specifically
Yeah.
said I love when women blow fire on me.
All
that
right.
sounds like a Greg thing to say. You're getting into that Greg realm right now.
What up, baby?
Anyway,
What it do?
anyway, continue.
But all right, so
Flashback to the first line. Pew pew pew.
so on to the Dark Knight though. Dude, right off the rip, the very first scene where the Joker stand on the corner like with his mask in hand, duffel bag over his shoulder, that shit was really cool. And then the scene that happened at the hospital where he clicked the detonator and in shooting, nothing exploded, and then he like chucks the remote or whatever,
Yep.
and then like a few seconds later it blows up, and I guess there was like a delay, and it was one of those that was like an unscripted reaction, and they put it in the movie. That shit to me was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, that is talent, bro. I don't understand how these guys like do that, what they face, the whole entire realm of what they do, but that shit was cool. It was one of my favorite things, and you find that in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens. There was one in a Fast and Furious movie, wasn't it? Like a natural reaction that they did at the end, and
Yeah,
all
with
of
the-
them spit like
the
water
Rock,
out and
when
laughing.
That was
When
when
The Rock walked up.
Yeah, that was when The Rock and Tyrese had their little moment. He was like, "Hide your baby oil," and he was like, "Hide your big ass forehead." That was unscripted.
Yeah, dude, that shit was fantastic. But dude, what about you? Now, what are your favorites? Like
I don't-
shit that you've seen.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big movie guy, and I watch a lot of movies. And I wouldn't say I'm like professional and I'm a critic, but I've seen and watched a lot of movies. Like, I prefer movies over TV shows, so I compare everything to what I've seen before. And I don't really know that there's one particular like movie or scene where I'm like, that they did that 100% right. Obviously, there's a lot of great visual effects and editing that goes into everything. It's just, I don't know. I'm very particular about that stuff.
All right, well then, like, what are the things that you're looking for, in particularly, like when you're watching something? What is good to you?
If I watch something and I legit go like verbally, "Oh shit," that doesn't happen too often.
Okay,
Like, give me an example.
Yeah,
No, if I'm legit watching something and it makes me say "oh shit" out loud, like that was dope or whatever, I don't really
yeah.
ever
well,
say much.
Like, do you have a scene off the top of your head that was like that?
Not really. I'm just a movie fanatic, so I just like watching movies. You know, they are what they are. Each one's got their own story and stuff. Obviously, my favorite movie series is The Fast and Furious, but you can't really compare because that series itself is so different and unique in itself and how the storyline is played out and with the characters and whatnot. Obviously, there's a lot of cinematics and stuff that go into every movie, but
Well, I think in terms of why you like that one is a little bit different from why you would like other movie series or
Oh,
whatever.
for sure. I
Like
mean-
the scenes and shit, some of them are dope and the action stuff is really cool, but I think like the character growth and attachment of like who they are, where they
Yeah.
are now kind of shit
well,
is
I
what you
mean,
enjoy.
Paul Walker's my idol, so obviously.
They need to stop making those movies. I'm
No.
just gonna go out and say
No.
it. It's
Keep
fucking
making 'em.
ridiculous. What else are
Fuck
you gonna
you.
do? They're gonna be fighting in space with cars. Like,
Bro,
you're
they
done.
need
You did
to
everything.
go back to where they started. That to me is a whole better run. Like 1 up until 5. Like 5 is the most actiony that I would have ever wanted that series.
Which
to
one
ever
was
be.
5? Like
With the Rock,
Brazil.
like the
The
first
safe?
one with the Rock,
Brazil.
Brazil.
Oh yeah, I like that
like
one.
for me, that was it. From 6, 7, and 8, where they're taking down planes, jumping out of planes, doing secret
You
missions and
know-
all that shit. I'm like, bro, these are just literal, regular street racing criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
they're talking about bringing Leo back for this next one.
I had no
Leon?
idea. Yeah, dude,
Leon?
yeah, well, finally, to me that was cool because nobody knew where he would go. So like for me, it's like, okay, this was a character. What the fuck happened to him?
So Leon's coming back, and Han is gonna be back after everybody thought he was dead.
Yeah.
See, they're just running out of shit to do at this point. Now they're just bringing people back from the dead and shit. Like, come on.
But the thing is, Paul and Vin Diesel had talked about it for years because I mean this franchise has pretty much been theirs. And before all this stuff happened with Paul Walker and everything, they had talked about making 10 films. So the 7th one was, you know, they said was for Paul, and the 8th one they said was from Paul and how he wanted to see it go and whatnot. And then last thing I read on it, they were talking about 9 and 10 were going to be a 2-part series type deal.
Yeah, like I could see them doing it. It'd be in
Jesus Christ.
11 movies total. Fast 10 was split into 2.
They ended the latest one ended and they were all like good and they were back at the house, right? Or were they in?
There's still beef between Jason Statham and Vin Diesel. He just helped out for that part just because they had to take down whatever her name was.
Cypher, right?
Yeah,
I think that
The
was her name,
blonde,
right?
I
Okay.
don't remember her name, but they had to take her down. So they teamed up, but there's still beef between Statham and Dom.
All right. So if you had, so outside of Fast and Furious, whatever, if you had to name one of your favorite movies, what is it?
That's hard. Of like all time.
Like, yeah, sure.
Dude, I have so many favorite movies. Like I think The Dark Knight, the first one, is lit. I like I Am Legend.
Here, let's
I Am Legend's
let's
fantastic.
rephrase. If there's one movie that you could watch over and over and over again, but you can't watch any other movie, what would that be?
I don't know. I don't have like any movie. I don't know. I would have to watch multiple movies. Like I like comedy. I like everything. So I don't know.
Same. Dude, it's hard for me to narrow it down. Like, I can't just say one overall.
Yeah.
Because that would just, that's too vague for me. Like, if you gave me a genre, I could hit you.
Not gonna lie, one movie I could probably watch over and over again, just because it's got a little bit of everything, would be A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. Classic.
That one's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's pretty funny.
That one's actually really good, and it's funny, too.
I think Couples Retreat is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was about to say, anything
Happens in
comedy
Vegas.
related, bro, Vince Vaughn is that shit. Like, for me,
Wedding Crashers.
dude, I was literally about to say Wedding Crashers, bro. I fucking love that movie.
That movie's hilarious.
Yes, dude. And I'll tell you someone else is really
You
fucking
motorboating
funny.
son of a bitch.
Is Ryan Reynolds, bro. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
dude,
is
in
funny.
Deadpool or even in the movie The Change Up, bro, his sarcasm is top
See,
notch.
the thing with Deadpool is I feel like he tries to make a lot of like forced jokes almost, like sexual forced jokes. Whereas in like The Change Up and like other shit that he's in, he's really funny because he's not trying to do that.
Well, I think
That's
Deadpool, that's
also
kind
the-
of the point.
That's the persona of Deadpool, though. He's a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and it's a good movie, but like it's just
That's also legit
There's a difference.
how Ryan Reynolds is. If you ever see him and his wife's Instagram posts and stuff back and forth, like he'll post happy birthday pictures and posts of his wife, and he'll crop out her face, and it just be a picture of him. Like that's how he is in real life, which is why I think
must be an
I like it.
entertaining dude.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm all over the place in terms of like what I like. I'm not a big horror film guy.
Nah.
The demonic shit scares me a little too much.
Yep.
Just not my taste. But
I don't know why you're friends with me.
I hate that
I mean,
shit,
no,
dude.
I'll sit through them. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I like the realistic scary movies. Quick example, I would say maybe like Friday the 13th. Like there's some like unrealistic wise tale shit about those, but overall, like some dude chasing you around with a machete, like that shit could actually happen.
Greg's lying. His favorite movie of all time is It.
Okay, that's
I
yeah.
fucking
We
hate
should
clowns.
we should tie
What-
Greg down and make him watch
I'm gonna
it
play
1
it
and
on
2.
the. I'm gonna play it on the
Greg would
projector.
shit,
Dude, I fucking hate clowns.
bro. That
Seriously.
movie scared the first one scared the shit out of me.
Bro, my brother made me watch the first one.
Yeah, nah, it's
Squad.
crazy.
Speaking of clowns, by the way, we hope you guys had a good Halloween. Hope you also enjoyed our Halloween episode, but mainly we hope you had fun and stayed safe.
Absolutely.
Ate a lot of candy. Candy's good.
Oh, dude.
Reese's cups.
My gut is still hurting from all the candy I ate. Ate a little bit too much.
Yeah. So what was I just gonna say?
We're on pace with movies, bro.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was, so the other question, I know we were just talking about clowns and stuff, but the question I had about Batman and the Dark Knight and stuff is, do you think what's his nuts that played the vampire, Robert Pattinson, is gonna be a good the Dark Knight
Like Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, actually. At first, I was a little testy about it because he wasn't taking the role seriously. I read like some big article about how he wasn't working out. He was like a string bean. He was like not doing shit, but COVID was going on during the process of all this. And then they like checked on him throughout. And he was just like, yeah, it's whatever. I'll get to it when I get to it kind of attitude about it. But then the trailer came out. I don't know what he did, like on the back half of like the COVID situation, like at home and in the gym and shit. But, bro, I watched that trailer and I was like, yo, this shit's going to be good. But I will say, like, no shade to Heath Ledger, though. But that Joaquin Phoenix guy fucking crushed it.
Joker.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but
Oh
to
my
me,
God, bro.
best Joker ever would be Heath Ledger. I mean, he
Oh, for
played
sure.
it so perfect. And one thing I wish, like, and that's a thing, which is pretty much our topic, is like there are so many movies that have been remade, and Batman, for example, has been remade a handful of times. I mean, how many different Batmans have we had?
Dude,
We've
so
had
many.
like
It's like
5
it's
or
like
6.
Spider-Man, dude. There's like
Yeah.
fucking 10 of them.
So here, it's actually a point like I want to make. Like, people who watch movies, the ones that come out during like our time that we get attached to, we always defend those actors or actresses without like giving the new people credit.
Toby
So-
is Spider-Man.
Bro, hell, dude,
Toby
the
forever.
dude, the best Spider-Man we will ever frickin' see on TV is Tom Holland. The current one right now is the best one to ever.
Don't
play
get me
Spider-Man.
like I'm a big movie person, like I said, but you know, like the Spider-Mans, and I get the aspect of coming out with a movie and then, you know, several years down the road, like revamping it in a different style with new characters and whatnot. Obviously, the actors age and stuff like that, so you kind of have to. But you kind of have to follow a certain, like, storyline, especially, like, those are a little bit tricky, like, with the comic scenes and stuff. Like, you can't go too off script with rebranding and re-imaging those movies with new characters because they're based on something that's already been written and told. So
Yeah.
people are going to know and be aware of it. Obviously, I think all the Spider-Mans were pretty great. And don't get me wrong, I love the George Clooney Batman, and you know Val Kilmer crushed it as well.
right.
One of my favorite characters from the Batman series that they never brought back was Jim Carrey as Riddler. Though.
Dude, I want to see a Riddler, but I actually think the one that Robert Pattinson's in
Has
that's
Riddler,
who the
yeah.
enemy
but if
is
it's not
the
Jim
Riddler.
Carrey, I don't want to see it.
Well, it's
I
not
don't
going to
know
be
who
that
is it.
cheesy. I have not. It's some random guy, but it's not going to like the Batmans from back in the day. Like the Jim Carrey Riddler, it was cheesy, bro. Like I
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
it here
yeah.
recently.
But that was
'cause
also
it-
the 90s.
Oh well, exactly what I'm saying. So like now, like seeing one that played the role of Riddler, but with this new wave of shit that they could probably implement would be really cool.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting take though, because you got to think though how movies were, what they used to film, and how they edited and stuff back then. But not only that, but what was trendy and caught viewers' attention back then,
Right.
and how much it's changed in 20 years.
Dude, it's crazy how this whole realm's changed. But I hate to rewind because when we move forward in podcasts, I hate to go back to a previous point. But this was something that I remember that I wanted to say was in terms of the Joker, like Heath Ledger, don't get me wrong, he played the Joker role like perfectly to a T. But the overall movie was about who?
Yeah.
It was about Batman. So you don't get to see like who the Joker is. You only get to see what they want you to see
No, he did a good job
through
doing that.
Batman's eyes, which was good. But in terms of just a movie about the Joker,
Yeah, it was really good.
this dude, Joaquin, fucking killed that shit.
See, the thing to me is like they need to figure out like why don't directors of these movies or like the older guy that recently passed away that designed all these comics
Stanley.
how come you didn't say like or like give guidelines to these people that are the actors and be like Joker is meant to be a terrorist or Joker is meant to be a gangster.
So he did.
Joker is meant to be like, you know what I mean?
He didn't have anything to do with the filming. The only thing he did was he got his paycheck from it all because obviously it's his work, and then he did cameos. That's pretty much it. How the movie went and progressed. I mean, he had a little bit of say, but he wasn't directing anything or
Yeah.
whatever. It was just
Yeah, but-
theirs.
You can't have a Joker in like the Dark Knight be a terrorist and then have Suicide Squad and have the Joker be a gangster.
Dude, I think he's just over like everything. Like I get what you mean, like, but it's all for the image of that director, essentially. Like in that storyline, for example, the one you're referring to with Suicide Squad, that was the Justice League kind of series they were trying to push, and he did what he thought the Joker would be for that series, which to me is stupid. It was dumb.
Yeah,
I didn't like the Justice League movies. I didn't like the Suicide Squad ones. I liked individual movies like Aquaman. That one was good. He had the best one. Like if they started it back up with him, and Wonder Woman was good too. But outside of that, all the other ones weren't that
Bro.
great.
Who's the actress that plays Wonder Woman?
Gal Gadot, I think, or Gal Gadot. I don't know how you say her name, but
She's in Fast and Furious.
yeah, bro.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, and I get what you're getting at, but I feel like you got to keep it the same. Like you have to keep the bad guys the same because the point is like the bad guy has the agenda and the superheroes are trying to stop that. Like they did a good job with Bane because in the comic books he's the same thing. Like he just wants to fucking
Oh yeah, dude. Mad props to Marvel though, bro. Because like the whole Avengers series, they kept the characters in place.
See, I think one thing, and this is from a viewer perspective, and I'm sure a lot of people will probably resonate with this, is like especially with like series, it's just easiest to use like the Avengers and the Batmans and the Spider-Mans and stuff like that. When you see certain characters come to life, Joker, Green Goblin, and Thor and all these guys, you want to see them in different movies, in different aspects, doing different things for a good substantial amount of time. And then obviously once that storyline has been told, the character's backstory, their life, how they are, what all they're involved with, the entire realm. Like for the Avengers, an example, like I'm a little upset that you're not gonna have Iron Man and Cap anymore, and I think Thor finally said that he was backing out too.
No, he's back.
He's back, so he
He's
backed
back.
out and he's coming back.
He's
but
back.
it's like the series. They're still gonna be great movies. Don't
Dude,
get me
Robert
wrong.
Downey might be back too.
It's just there's so much more you want to see because you grow and you get invested with those characters, and then you're just waiting for the next one, like what's gonna happen next type deal. Like you're on the edge of your seat, and I think that's what drives cinemas, and also that's why they make so many fucking movies about the same thing.
Yeah, dude. In terms of just superhero movies in general, I think if you have a strenuous story and plot line that you're trying to tell, you need to make these people sign contracts, bro. Like you need to find somebody that is gonna be like down for 10, maybe 12 years of time to make like 5 to 8 movies to finish the story. Because
like Robert Downey just killed it. Like you can't have another Iron Man.
Bro, he was Iron Man from when was it? It was like early
2009.
2000,
2009.
early.
And then went a whole decade as Iron Man, and they finished the plot line. See, me, that is what I'm looking for in terms of a story. Like I don't like when
2008.
they're like, exactly. Like they have guys coming in to play a character. They'll be that guy for one movie, maybe 2, and then it's done. Like I don't like that shit. I want you to own that character. If you like that character, own it.
Yeah.
Finish the story and then be done.
Yeah.
Because like you can, every story has an ending to it. So go ahead and wrap it up. Like this version of this group of people's story, then let's end it there.
That's like a good example for a series that did it really well was like the Angel Has Fallen movies. There's 3 of them.
Yes.
That was really
Great
good.
movies.
3 different depictions, 3 different cities, scenarios, whatnot. Great movie. Same characters every movie. They got the story across, and they don't need to make it anymore.
Exactly. To me, that was fantastic.
Yeah, and they kind of played it out. The third one, like he was getting too old to do it. So like I think that's how they're gonna push him out.
In the same thing, whether it's TV shows or movies, there's nothing wrong with refilming and replotting a movie, down the road using new characters and everything. You just gotta make sure that if you're gonna do that, you almost have to do it where it's a different storyline, not just recreate the same movie with new faces. And I feel like that's what a lot of these movies have done. In the beginning, a handful of them have just remade the same movie, and it's just 10 years later, different characters.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of movies now either are insanely cheesy or they're just like rushing to get it out.
Yeah, I agree. Comedy movies in particularly are like not as good anymore.
Dude, because everyone's scared of saying the wrong shit. Like everyone is literally just not saying what's funny because they're scared of being insulting someone.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of I just feel like they're all kind of cliche and basic. Like for me, what I like is there's an actual plot line to it rather than just a bunch of stupid, dumb, funny shit going on. I want there to be a overall objective for where the movie's headed, but there's funny shit throughout. So for me, I guess my taste would be I know this is gonna sound pretty weird, but rom-coms, bro. You get everybody's gonna end up in the relationship or whatever, but throughout tons of funny shit happens. What happens in Vegas, Undefeated, bro. That shit makes me laugh till I cackle.
Yeah, dude. What happens in Vegas is funny as fuck.
It's hilarious. I love that shit. That shit is hilarious.
I have a question. Whether it be movie or TV series, what was one death, and you can only choose one, that really had an impact on you? You can choose one for movies and then one for TV shows.
One death within the movie or the real life character died?
Within the movie or a TV show. So one for a movie and then one for a TV show.
Damn.
I already know what my TV show one is. The movie one's kind of hard.
Okay.
Isn't Paul Walker your TV?
He died. He didn't die.
He died
in
in real life.
Dude,
Okay.
I might actually have to think on this one for a minute.
So my
tough.
my TV show death that just I still don't like the fact that it ended this way. Was from Sons of Anarchy when Opie died.
Oh,
Opie?
yes.
Opie.
It's a good
That is
one.
a great one.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking that way. But that is a good one.
That, bro, it gets me every time.
Dude,
that was one of my
TV
favorite TV
shows,
show
bro.
series.
I could give you the best TV show death.
What's that?
Instead of Opie, the best TV show death was Jax.
Yeah, but I mean, we all knew that was coming because it was getting towards the end of the series, and you knew the show was going to be ending, so it had to happen.
Yeah.
But
I agree with Opie, though. Opie was really bad.
movie,
Man,
I
this
don't
is
know.
tough.
I think the movie would be between a handful for me, but like, I don't know if I can narrow it down per se. Definitely the TV show, because this is a controversy, and I see it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter all the time, talking about which fictional death hurt the worst, and Opie's always on there, and I'm like, Opie for sure, like hands down.
Yeah.
Bro,
gonna look
I'm
that
sitting
up.
here, dude. I'm sitting here thinking like about TV show deaths that, like, actually kind of got to me a little bit, and I can't think of any off the top.
What about movies?
Dude, dude, this one's stumping me a little bit, bro.
It's a really
This one-
hard
'cause
question.
I have like multiple coming in. Like, for example, can I give you a person? Like, I was excited that they died in the show.
But he's just every
Bro,
episode he's just
all right.
more and more
I'm-
feeding into that
Dude,
sociopath.
I'm gonna go back to Game of Thrones when fucking Joffrey gets killed in Game of Thrones. I
Bro.
literally wanted to throw a parade.
Okay, I'll read you the list right now. Derek Shepard, Grey's Anatomy.
Uh,
Mason got me into Grey's
Basic.
Anatomy because that's her main show, and
Basic.
that fucking sucked. He was a good character. There's some people in Orange is the New Black. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, no one
Yeah.
cares.
Miss Buffy.
One
Jeez.
Tree Hill. Q dies in One Tree Hill.
yeah, that one
Oh,
was pretty
yeah.
tough.
Chad
yeah,
Michael Murray here on the set of Confused Podcast.
I remember that one. That
Beth-
one actually kind of fucked me up.
Beth in The Walking Dead.
Didn't see that show either.
That kind of sucked because that was a hard one. Beth was awesome. Opie. Lexi Gray, Grey's Anatomy. Yep. Stranger Things, Bob Newberry.
Haven't seen that show either.
I know which one you're referring to. He like sacrificed himself to save people, and that shit was actually pretty good. That one was a kind of hit home a little bit.
The Next Generation. I don't know what that is. A lot of these are Grey's Anatomy. Mark Sloan, Grey's Anatomy.
There's a lot of people that.
Well,
Grey's
yeah, 'cause
Anatomy's still going.
Yeah,
Bro,
Grey's Anatomy's gone for majority of my freaking life.
Yeah,
So,
seriously. 8 Simple Things. Wes Gibbons, How to Get Away with Murder. Yes, that is a great show, and that fucking sucked.
dude, I literally just started it, so thanks for running.
Oh yeah, Wes dies.
I'm literally like episode 5, but
That's a really
yeah.
good show. Okay, we could Google that all day, but you got to choose one for you, not let Google do it. I still can't think of a movie one though. It's
Bro,
hard,
dude.
The movie is harder than the TV show.
damn, for movies.
All right, I got
bro?
mine.
Go ahead.
Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad.
Haven't seen that show either.
Oh shit.
Yep, that was fucked up.
This
That
is
was
how
real
you
fucked up.
know I'm more of a
He
movie guy.
he goes out like a boss, but it was fucked up that he died. I really thought that he was gonna live, and
Yo, real talk.
gets capped.
One that kind of like it didn't fuck me up. I just wish it didn't happen. Was, the Vampire Diaries, Stefan
Mm-hmm.
at the end of it. I hated how that shit happened to him, but it was kind of sad though because he was looking out for his brother, and that shit ran like through and through for me. I was like, okay, I see what they're doing here, and I'm glad it ended up that way.
Team Stefan or Team Damon?
I'm Team Damon, bro.
Team Damon.
All day
Yeah.
long.
I've seen only 2
Doesn't
episodes,
matter.
and I'm already just gonna get on
Bro,
board.
I showed him a clip from an
You haven't
episode the
watched
other
it
day.
yet?
No, it's
Nah.
so
I've
good.
seen the Vampire Diaries twice and the originals twice.
All
Bro,
right,
I've
let me
watched
see,
it.
let me
I've
see, let me
watched the
see.
Vampire Diaries through 5 times. That shit, it's so good. And Damon to me is literally one of my favorite freaking characters on TV.
Klaus is a boss.
Klaus is
too.
my dude. I was about to bring him up. Klaus is a fucking boss, bro.
All right, I got my movie one. My movie one is I Am Legend, when Will Smith dies,
What about the dog?
or when the dog dies. But Will Smith goes out like a boss in that movie, and it fucked me up because I saw something online that said that he lived, and it was the extended cut, or whenever they do like the alternate endings or whatever. And he lives in the alternate ending, but the one that I saw in the movie theater is the main one that they produced, and he dies. So I was like, he grabbed a grenade, and I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck's he gonna do? And then all of a sudden he just fucking dies. I was like, what?
Bro, actually, I got one for a movie. In the movie Avatar, at the end,
Oh damn.
where So one of the people, I don't even know what they were called, but one of the blue figures who was actually a blue guy.
Avatars?
Yeah, Avatar. So sure. One of the blue people. Dude, okay. So one of the avatars, bro.
Don't just speed past that and try to act like you didn't say that shit.
I did. Fucking move on. Move on.
Says the title of the movie and then goes, the blue
Move
people.
on.
Clip it and ship it, boys. We're going viral because Greg's
Jesus
confused.
Christ. Actually, let me just take a fucking drink real quick.
Oh
Take-
my
hey,
God.
Go take a $5, reset.
So,
All right. Anyways, the Avatar. So he wasn't one of the ones that were like laying in the machine and like placing him in a body or whatever.
yes, he was a real avatar.
Yeah, real Avatar. Fuck off. So it's when he like jumps off the back of that dragon into the back of the plane, and like he like starts mowing some of the soldiers down or whatever, and then he gets fucking blasted and dies and's like falling out of the back of the plane to the ground. He didn't like the dude who was in the wheelchair, like the main character
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They didn't like one another, but he like sacrificed himself towards at the end. That shit was good.
Bro,
I
I
was
knew
like,
it.
okay.
I knew a kid in high school who knew how to speak that language.
Ew.
Like I didn't know him, but like I knew of him, and he spoke that language. Like the movie came out, and like 6 months later, the kid was like walking around speaking Avatar.
That's disgusting.
I was like, my guy, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like no shade, cool. You learned another fictional language, but like, kind of shade because
Yeah.
you have the time for that.
Yeah.
What about you, dude?
I don't know what my movie death would be, man. It's too hard. It's too hard. We'll have to come back to that.
Dude, at the end, there was one. I think it was like Triple Frontier, where Ben Affleck got
Yeah,
got
dude,
a
that's a
round through
good
the
movie.
forehead. That one kind of fucked me up.
Yeah, I
of
didn't
the-
expect that.
The ones, some of the war movies too. What was the other one where
Saving Private Ryan.
No, they all got trapped on like hills, like on a mountain. Mark Wahlberg was in it, and
Oh, Lone Survivor.
yeah, some of the guys who died in that one, that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, but you knew. I mean,
Like you
I-
knew
I
going
guess it
into
fucked
it,
you
it
up, but
was gonna
yes,
happen,
you
but
knew that
like
was gonna
seeing
happen.
it, it's
Yes.
still like
that fucked me. The Saving Private Ryan, that fucked me up. When he dies on the bridge, he's like shooting the tank, and then he like bleeds out. That's fucked up. There's a lot of like war movies that the characters you get really into, and then you just what?
I got one for you guys. Speaking of movies, since it's all about our topic today, could Jack have fit on that piece of wood with her in Titanic?
Oh my god. Yes, she's a selfish bitch. Move over.
yeah.
I googled impactful movie deaths, and Jack is number 3 for Titanic.
Yes, she could have. That's fucked up. She killed Leo.
Ooh, what about Bambi? Iconic from our childhood.
Fuck Bambi, man. Whatever.
Somebody
That
didn't watch
wimpy
Disney
deer?
movies.
It's just a deer. But no, Jack definitely could have fit on that thing. She's selfish. Selfish.
Dude, what else you got for us?
That was real good. That was a really good one.
Bubba from Forrest Gump.
Oof, that one was pretty tough.
Yeah, that. You know, I feel like someone had to die. They were in war.
This whole movie was based about it. Marley from Marley and Me.
Oh,
Now you're trying to make me cry.
This episode took a turn.
Please don't do that to me.
good movie, dude. That was so sad.
Ooh, Mufasa.
Nah, he had to die. Simba had to come.
Bro, real talk.
Simba had to be like news.
I mean, yeah, bro. I get it. That one, it was
the
expected,
the
bro.
betrayal is what fucked you up, but the
Yeah.
death wasn't a big
Dude,
deal.
it's not the people actually dying that fucks me up. It's
Yeah.
what happens.
How they die.
Yeah. That shit, like how you can relate to it outside of the movie world. Like, real talk, bro. If my brother was fucking power hungry and cut my ass, that shit, that would sting. That's
Did
a
you see
fucking
the
deep
live
cut.
action one of that?
Yeah.
It is pretty good.
It was okay.
I got a couple
pretty good.
more. John Coffey from The Green Mile.
He was the big dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was kind of fucked up. That was a good movie though. That was like what's his name?
Tom Hanks.
No, wasn't he the dude that's in Gone in 60 Seconds?
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, isn't he in that movie? I'm
No,
thinking of
it's-
Tom.
it's Tom Hanks.
Okay, I'm mixing them up.
Ellie from Up.
To be completely honest, I've never seen Up.
Bro, I'll tell you actually
Dude, it's
what
a good
fucked me up.
movie.
This is, some of the endings of Toy Story. That shit tore me up, bro.
Ooh.
Toy Stories were some of my favorites growing
Moana?
up.
Ladies, you'll like this one. Augustus Waters from The Fault in Our Stars.
He dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Dude,
damn.
educate yourself.
Bro,
Watch
I
a
saw
damn
that with like
film.
my
Dude,
middle
it's
school
a
girlfriend,
good
bro. I don't
movie.
know.
I have it on my TV,
Damn.
on my
I
PlayStation.
don't even remember that.
Bro, dude, there's tons,
So many.
tons
You see
of
the-
movies. that
And
we
it
could go
keeps
through.
going.
That's the movie
Dude,
where
it's
he
a
like
long
puts the
list.
cigarette in his mouth because it's
It's
like
a
clo-
metaphor.
Yeah, the metaphor. Okay,
You
cool.
put the
I know
thing
what
that kills you in your mouth, but you don't give it the power to kill you.
by lighting it.
Yeah.
Sick metaphor, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Find a new hobby.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so yeah. Now, switching gears a little bit. Did you guys see that article that was talking about how a lot of celebrities now are focusing on like social media realms like YouTube, and I think it was like called
yeah.
Quibi, and like TikTok's obviously a big one and stuff like that, because they think that the movie industry is starting to like taper off and it's going to be all streaming from here on out.
I mean, dude, it's like a highway robbery going on, and we're getting to see it like live. It's crazy because all these companies who are like just think about it. Back in the day when we were growing up, Blockbuster was a thing, and now they're like no more.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that that'll happen, but it's basically we're just making the world more efficient. And don't get me wrong, it needs to be that way.
Yeah.
But the people who created these like services, these stream services, are geniuses.
Well, think about like Redbox. Redbox is one of the only, aside from like your Walmarts and Targets and shit like that, Redbox is really the only place you can go to like actually buy hard copies of movies and games and stuff
Yeah.
anymore.
I know
Which
people
I
that
think-
live by that shit though. Like they're
Yeah.
like, I love
Like,
Redbox.
you, I'd blow it. I'd rather just rent it on my fucking TV for
Me too,
$3.99.
but I actually think Redbox will start fizzling out too.
Oh,
because
100%.
I
because
think it already has.
Yeah, because I mean, what you're going like physically having to go up to a place to hit the red box, you're paying whatever their price is on there. You could just
Yeah.
literally, it's
Well,
2 clicks
But
on
I
the
know
TV.
I know people that like it because they like to rent the video games, play it, like beat the game, and then bring it back and just be like, I don't even need to spend
Well,
spend
but-
$60 on it.
But now you can do that on your consoles and your PCs and stuff like that. You can rent games and movies and stuff like that. But think about it a step further. Not condoning this, even though I have one. You can go and buy a Fire Stick from Amazon or whatever, jailbreak it, and you can stream that shit for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and like try to plug GameStop for a second, but bro, like they could rent video games out if they really wanted to. That could
Only-
be like an extra thing that they could do business.
They're fucked. GameStop is fucked.
Dude, because
Only- they need to rent them for like $2.99. You can
Hell
get
yeah,
them fucking.
they're so
because they're
fucked.
doing the same thing digitally for all these gaming consoles that are
Yeah.
coming out. Dude, it's direct money to them or whatever. Like if you're buying from the PlayStation store, I would assume PlayStation or Sony is getting like
Oh,
partial
for sure.
credit
The,
for
the
that.
only thing keeping GameStop afloat is when new systems come out and people wait in line to get the new system if they didn't pre-order it. That's the
Yeah.
only way they're paying their rent. Like, who goes to GameStop anymore?
That or if you need like a quick headset or controller or replacement stuff like that,
Yeah,
like that's
like-
pretty much, or memorabilia. It's turned into a lot of memorabilia for like the gaming community, which is cool. It's like hands on, but no, I
Yeah,
order
it's-
everything on Amazon.
Plane? God damn.
Sound effects. I have a button down here. You guys.
That's
just
what it
don't
was.
know
That's
about
what it
Dude,
was. We
I-
hit the plane button.
Bro, I'm shook. I'm like, you had me
No,
scared.
it's
bro.
North Korea.
Bro, we're
Um,
friends with them now, bro.
Facts. But speaking of North Korea invading and shit, Red Dawn is another good movie that I really like. So yeah, back on that other topic. And so I was looking, and Quibi was like a thing that that a lot of actresses and actresses in Hollywood were trying to get into over quarantine because they could make short clips of like shoot it on your iPhone or like a quick DSLR camera and stuff like that. And it went out of business like Friday.
Really? Why? What was the reasoning behind
Because-
it? I don't even know what Quibi is.
Because all of these streaming services are just too powerful.
Well,
they have too much
well,
money and juice behind them.
What's funny though, and I think, and we've done a little bit of research on it here and there, is YouTube obviously is growing and is taking off, and probably in
yeah.
the next 5 to 10 years is going to be like the main platform.
Yeah.
But Zac Efron and Alex Daddario, and I'm sure there are tons of others for sure. I know for a fact are on YouTube making videos, posting on YouTube.
I have a crush on both of them.
Yeah, I know.
I was from Me to Devon from Alex Daddario.
I would have shit my pants.
Really? Where at?
So I was in Savannah, Georgia. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. We went down to visit 'cause this was my brother was still in school in college in Florida, and he drove up to meet us. So we spent the weekend there, and they were filming Baywatch at the time. So I
Bro.
was from me to the wall over there from The Rock actually closer than that. He was from Me to the Couch.
Oh, I remember this, bro. You sent me
Yeah,
Snapchats
bro.
of this.
I have pictures. The Rock waved at us, said hey to us. Zac Efron I saw across the beach when they were filming the scene where he pulls the girl out. And then Alex Daddario was literally from Me to You. There was a barrier right here, and I was standing right there. I have a picture of her.
Did you say I fucking love you?
I said, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey, how you doing? She was in her bikini and had her jacket on, and
Oh my God, I would not know what to do with myself.
I'm practically famous.
Nah, dude.
Practically.
Out of all the people you just listed, it's got to be Zach for me, bro. I've had a crush on this man since High School Musical days, bro.
Get your
All
head
right,
in
and
the
that's
game.
gonna be it for today's episode.
And we're gone.
Bro.
Speaking of that, though,
I like him a lot.
when we all used to play, we haven't played in a while, but we used to play Call of Duty religiously like every night. And that would be I have a playlist dedicated on my Spotify to
High School Musical.
High School
sounds-
Musical songs, and I would play those to pump us up.
Bro, real talk. We're going to have to take that playlist and move it over to Rocket League now.
That's fine.
Bro, we got real into Rocket League last night, and I am totally about to go home after this and play fucking
Dude,
Rocket League until I fall asleep.
You got off. We played 2 more games. 1 more with my brother.
Greg
and
was
then
telling
one
me.
more
Yeah,
with
dude, it
us.
was intense,
Dude,
bro.
I had 4 goals. He had 3 goals. We were crushing it.
Yeah, we had a good game.
So, I forgot what I was just gonna say about that, but oh yeah, so you were saying that YouTube's gonna blow up,
Yep.
and so the thing is that there's a subscribe button that you have to hit if it's for free. Anyway, so YouTube's gonna blow up, but the thing is there any competitors that are gonna compete with YouTube? Because if not, then everywhere on YouTube's gonna be saturated, and there's gonna be no room
The
for anyone to get involved in YouTube, and we're gonna be screwed.
No, so the thing is obviously YouTube itself, any streaming platform, any like TikTok, Instagram, everything is saturated because there's so many people in the world and there's so many people doing it. You know, Twitch and stuff like Mixer's not a thing anymore, but now YouTube, you got to think though, YouTube is getting in. You can live stream on YouTube. So like right now, if we wanted to do a live Q&A or hang out with our viewers, we could live stream. You can live stream and play video games on YouTube. So YouTube is progressing, but you got to think there's so many different platforms to get any and all kinds of content out there. YouTube being the easiest because you can upload cooking, DIY, podcast, movies, whatever. And it's simple, it's easy, but I feel like as much as YouTube has grown already in the last 5 to 10 years and how much it's continuing to grow and more active users and more accounts being made, that they have no choice but to further advance.
Spend the money to expand.
Yeah,
They're gonna have
they
to.
definitely have the money. There's no way they don't have the
They
money.
had what did I see the other day was on TV? It was like YouTube TV or something like that.
Yep.
Dude, I read an article about that they had they were set to make like $60 billion in 20 years.
It's cheaper than Netflix.
It's fucking insane.
It's cheaper than Hulu and Netflix.
Wow. Dude,
We're
that's
like
crazy.
giving YouTube free clout right now, but yeah, I mean that's sick. That's a really
So,
good idea.
That's that right there. That's marketing. That's strategy. I mean, they had a game plan. They knew what they were doing. You know, I'm not saying we're jumping on the bandwagon, but
We are.
we're jumping on the
I mean,
bandwagon.
dude, it's you got to strike it when it's hot. That's essentially
Yeah.
the basis of everything.
And we're
I
not
mean,
getting
Hear
any
multiple
younger.
people.
It
Yeah.
speaks to that all of these celebrities are like, I'm gonna take time off from acting and all of these roles to pursue a YouTube career or a TikTok career. I mean, like Will Smith is doing it with Jason Derulo, and they're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
So it
it's actually
speaks to
crazy.
something like that. If you can make $2 million off of one post, why wouldn't they do that?
Well, dude, I wouldn't even say yes, they can make money that way, but I would like TikTok to me is a side hustle almost. That's almost like when you hear these TikTokers and whoever like famous people talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok right now, because it's so hot, is the best way to market your product
Yeah,
and
for
what
sure.
you're doing. And I think that's what everybody's doing because bro, think about this shit for a second. You're marketing your product. You're getting a fuckload of views on TikTok, so they're paying you for all them views that you're getting, but you're marketing the product where you're really going to be making your money. How freaking crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, but
blows
people are
my
also
mind.
getting paid for that though, and like
Well, they are.
there's a huge thing that like people want like the easiest and quickest money. So if actors have to go to a set for 6 months straight to film this movie and they're getting paid, I don't know, however much they're fucking getting paid, and they could do that in 5 TikToks, if they're getting paid $50 million, they do it in
I think the big thing though that y'all are forgetting though is that these people, like, yeah, they're actors and stuff, and that's their job, but they got into that because they want to entertain people and make and provide content. Like Will Smith and Jason Derulo is the greatest example, because Will Smith is a funny guy. Like, he started out, he's done a lot of comedies, he's done a little bit of everything. He just wants to make content. You know, one, it could be their escape. I mean, you don't know. There's so many variables, but it's like they got into that field to be entertaining and to entertain people. So I feel like that's the big reason as to why they do it. The money comes and goes, and it is what it is. Like T-Pain, I've been watching him on Twitch every now and then.
He's so fucking funny.
Well, there was an interview with him where he had $40 million and then went broke because he spent it all. So, like, money comes and goes. Doesn't matter how much you have or how wealthy you are. Like, you just want to entertain people, and, you know.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not, like, a passion behind it, but I'm saying, like, if you could get, if you're T-Pain and he had $40 million, right, and that took 6 years to get, if he could get $40 million off of 40 Twitch streams, then he's gonna do that. He's not gonna want to go to concerts and shit when he could just sit in his living room and stream.
From a business standpoint,
Right.
yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to go. But I feel like that's the way this digital age is moving and transitioning, is to, you know, everybody wants ease of access, you know, to be able to, not too many people go to the movies to go on dates and stuff anymore. And then after this COVID stuff, you know, like, what are people going to be scared to go out or whatnot? We don't know, but you can literally invite all your friends over, order food, and not only that, but take it a step further, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and stuff like that. You can literally do everything you want from your phone, and I can go right here, right now, and play my movie from my phone onto my TV, order
all
my
these smart
food.
TVs and stuff.
You
there's so
could
much
you could
can
do anything you want to do nowadays without having to leave your home, provided that you can work a job from home. If you can work a job from home, you never need to leave. You can order dinner, you can order a movie, you could grocery shop, you can do anything you need to and never leave your home.
Bro, you're absolutely
That's what
right.
quarantine taught me.
Well, yes. I want to touch on the movie theater thing, though, because you brought it up post-COVID.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to defend movie theaters, and I'm going to say why they probably will never end. Because people love that, like, matinee experience and getting out of the house in, like, the entire just environment of watching a movie somewhere that's not your home and et cetera. So the reason why I say movie theaters will never fade out is because, like, not everybody has enough money to put that kind of setting in home.
Yeah, but not
Like,
everyone
you
has
can
enough money to go to a movie theater and
you're
spend
right,
$30.
Well, actually, think about it this way. Buying all of the stuff to make your at-home feel like a movie theater is more expensive than going to spend the $30 on a movie experience. And you don't have to pay for all the extra.
But then you're only doing it one time.
Exactly.
Well, but
right.
that's part.
Then,
That's
like,
part
you
of
can
it.
stream it at home again or wait for it to come out. So, like,
I mean, I guess.
just in defense of movie theaters, though, like, that's exactly why they probably will never fade out.
I think they're fucked, and I think that if anyone invests in a movie theater, they're stupid.
I don't think they're fucked because, one, it's you got to think. There's multiple ways to think of it. You got kids. It's a great place to have a birthday party. You know, you've also got the IMAX theaters, which you can virtually not create at your home. I don't care how much money you have. You would have to dedicate an entire portion or build a separate house to have an IMAX theater. And then you got the 3D and stuff. Plus, I mean, it's just the experience of going to the moviie. Same thing like going to a theme park. It's an experience. Like, you pay $100 to go for a day pass, and you're only going to do it once.
It's
I mean, don't get
expensive,
me
but
wrong.
It's worth it if you if you're into that kind of thing.
I like the movie theater experience. I like going. I don't like spending a lot of money on it. But I think that the only reason movie theaters are going to stay open is because of the people that are really into seeing the movie as soon as it comes out. Like, if people are lining up to see The Dark Knight or whatever they're going to see, then the movie theaters aren't going to go out of business. But once people stop caring and streaming services have, like, a countdown to when they're going to release The Dark Knight, which I think is where we're headed, people are just going to be like, fuck that. I could just stay on my own couch. And,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're right. Like, the majority of people will do that.
the big fans won't, but the people that just want to be comfortable at home.
Right. Like, they're going to take a big hit financially, but I don't think it's going to be big enough to make them close, because people still love to go to the movie theaters despite anything that we do. Yeah. But I will say this whole digital age, like this push of things that's going on, is actually impacting this whole realm tremendously. And it's actually crazy to see, and it's like crazy to see how familiar we are with it and like that we're a part of it. It's insane.
So Mulan, which was one of the more recent movies that was released, has earned $57 million worldwide in theaters thus far, which under normal circumstances would be a stunning commercial whiff.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very good, but because of everything going on, it's good.
66.8 million box office.
Yeah. Dude, so speaking of like movies, and you said like that one would have whiffed if this was like a normal time. What are some movies that you think could have been better that just completely flopped? Like a series or just a film?
Before we touch on that, but at the same time, AMC, which is one of the nation's biggest movie theaters, is on the verge of declaring bankruptcy as of June 20th.
Oh,
They're
shit.
also the one of more expensive. AMC is more expensive than Regal.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Well, that could be determined based off location of COVID and like the phases that they're in, and if they can open in certain states.
The general company AMC is $750 million in debt after coronavirus
Holy
closures.
shit, that's actually crazy.
Just like some fun facts for everyone out there. Now continue. I'm sorry to cut you off.
So like speaking of movies in general, what are some films or movie series films or whatever that could have been better and they just completely flopped? Do you have one off the top?
I mean, I don't know that it definitely didn't flop, because what I'm thinking is Star Wars. It didn't flop, but the thing is I think with today's technology and how like the movies look and are now, that everything that happened in Star Wars would be so much better if they started it
redid it
now, start it, but they have to start it from one, because people that really aren't super into Star Wars doesn't even understand the order.
See, that's for me, it was opposite. I liked 4, 5, and 6, and those were the ones they released first, and it was backwards. But those were my favorite ones out of the whole series.
Well, they were good because I mean the story is good.
Yeah, they have the story down.
But I actually agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong, 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. The nostalgia of it is really good, and the story was really good, and just seeing like where we were and where we are now, fucking crazy. But to start, which I think they are actually. They're not going to do that same storyline, but they are starting over with a new storyline for Star Wars, I believe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think that like the Revenge of the Sith was like probably the newest one they released in my lifetime, where it's like about the Jedi. Mm-hmm. And I think that aesthetically, it's just so cool.
So I don't know the name of it. They were decent, but it was was it like Fantastic Beasts or something, which was like a play on Harry Potter and like a side multiverse or whatever. The same thing. They were good movies, but I feel like because it was a play on Harry Potter or like the subsequent subpar part of Harry Potter, it could have been way better.
Yeah, I've heard that actually from a few people, but people who are fans of it, like that whole realm of stuff, they actually like say
they will die by that movie. It was a
good movie. I just think because it was related to Harry Potter, it was supposed to be the same thing, wizardry and whatnot. Yeah. It could have lived up a lot more hype.
I think that they should make the Harry Potter movies like about their kids.
I think they've been talking about it.
I know that that's a play in England. It's about Harry Potter and the kids, and Harry Potter's kids, but they should make it.
For me, actually, I'll list my movie that flopped here in a second, but a movie like series that I wish they would make would be about Voldemort. I want to see his story,
like Tom Riddle to Voldemort.
Tom Riddle to Voldemort.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if, imagine them making a movie series showing everything about Voldemort and how he ended up, where he ended up, etc. And then, like, in the end of the Voldemort film series, they end it with his fight with fucking Harry Potter.
And
to me, that would be dope.
You know what I would think would be sick is if they did something like in, you know how like the Annabelle movies and shit like that, it's set back in like I think the latest one was like 1990 it was placed in. Mm-hmm. If they like took a camera and went to the Warrens' house in Massachusetts, like it would be so cool. Like to make like kind of like a Blair Witch thing where someone's filming it, but then they're like going through all this crazy shit that's happening in the house, and like I think that would be a hit.
You know,
people like that, especially up north. People are about that shit,
like the authenticity of it, bro. Okay, so you were about to go, but the movie series for me that flopped was Transformers, bro. Aesthetic,
the second set,
all of them, bro. Like they all did shit in the box office.
I like the original ones with Shia LaBeouf, and then they brought Mark Wahlberg. I like him. They did good, but the ones with Shia LaBeouf were the best.
But even those ones flopped in the box office too. And and aesthetically, it looked fantastic. Like, don't get me wrong, if it was on TV, I would watch it and I would enjoy it. Yeah. But like in terms of the entire story of what was going on, just a tank.
Yeah. I know you had something to say, Dakota, but just to add to that, I hate when movies bring in like this main star actor like Mark Wahlberg, who I really like all of his movies, by the way, but they do that with The Rock too. They bring him in to like make a star-studded person like this big role in a movie. They shouldn't have brought him in. The point of Transformers was a high school kid buys a car and then is wrapped up in this world of things that he doesn't the Transformer world, and he had if they linked Shia LaBeouf to all of those movies and like stopped changing all these like star-studded roles,
Yeah.
I think it would have done a lot better because
So-
they try to make Mark Wahlberg the hero. Sorry, go ahead.
Two things. One, since we brought up Shia LaBeouf, one of my favorite movies to watch growing up, Disturbia.
Dude, I actually
Mhm.
own the disc of
It's a good
Disturbia.
movie.
Love that movie.
That's
By
one
the
of my
way,
favorites,
I don't remember
too.
the girl's name in that movie, but
The Tower of That's actually Chad Michael Murray's wife.
well, I mean,
Nah,
I'm
Yeah.
Chad,
blonde?
I'm
The
Chad
blonde
Michael
from
Murray
Disturbia,
2.0.
Yeah.
shit.
But
Yeah.
no, what I was gonna say was one thing that I really like that they do in movies, and I wish they would do a lot more of. It's very difficult to pull off, but crossovers.
What do you mean?
So like crossover, like they do it more
Yeah.
so in like Marvel and stuff like
Like
that.
Daredevil's in Punisher, Punisher's in
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Okay, yeah.
Crossover mixes like that where
Aren't they planning on doing that with Venom and Spider-Man?
Venom, Spider-Man, and Carnage, which is actually the next Venom that's coming out. Yes, they're doing a crossover.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, see, dude, because Venom and Spider-Man were actually like supposed to be enemies, aren't they?
So like you do that, and that's why I like it, is because it's like you mix two different worlds and universes together, and it's not just in the comics and stuff like that. Obviously, other movies you could get away with it too, depending on the stories and whatnot. It's just easier with the comics, and obviously those are the only examples we have.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's why I like the Avengers so much,
Yeah.
actually,
I-
because all of these different like walks of life and
Come
different
together.
heroes come together. Dude, that shit's so sick.
But you have to, in order to pull that off, you have to have a good first movie. Like, for example, Wonder Woman was a fantastic movie. Now you can work her into whatever you want because you know where she came from, this and that. If you just kind of like don't work them into their own movie and then you just are like, oh, there's Wonder Woman, like saving the day, you're gonna be like, who the fuck's this?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know?
they did that. They did that with the Avengers though.
They do that a lot, and
Yeah.
that pisses me off about superhero movies is when they do that.
Iron Man and Cap were the ones. Like I think who was it? Black Panther showed up before he had the Black Panther movie release.
Yep. And they should have done the Black Panther movie before doing the other.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was there, and we were like, wait a minute, who the fuck's this guy? And then they like say who he was or whatever, and then his movie release. Like, yeah, it's whatever for me.
I don't know. That
I
just
don't really
bothers
have
me.
a preference.
But
It was cool though, because like,
Yeah.
well, I guess it all depends on like how
That's
you
the same
look at
thing
it.
with Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Black. I think the Civil War movie was before this first Spider-Man with Tom Holland. I think. I
No,
may be wrong.
it was after. So you knew he was in the first one. Like you knew Tom Holland was a Spider-Man, and then Civil War came out, and then Spider-Man's second movie came
There's
out.
so many of them. I get the order wrong.
So, wrapping up here, favorite Spider-Man, favorite villain, favorite Batman, and favorite movie overall.
Favorite Spider-Man.
Favorite Spider-Man.
don't
Dude, I
know.
already said Tom Holland.
I like them
Okay.
all. I like 'em all.
Favorite Batman.
It would be.
It's gonna have to be Christian Bale.
It would be between Christian Bale and George Clooney for me.
Okay, and favorite villain.
Just I'm not even gonna name an actor or an actress because overall character wise, I like the overall premise. I actually cliche. It'll be the Joker's one of my favorites. I just like that that whole story there.
To be honest, I think he's one of my favorites because he was underrated. Was Mr. Freeze from that George Clooney Batman?
Okay, and then favorite movie in general.
Fast and Furious.
Man, dude, that's
Okay.
that's a loaded question because I like so many.
While you think about it, not besides Fast and Furious, because we know you like Fast and Furious, like favorite cinematic like marvel of a movie, like awards. So I'll go through mine while you guys think. So favorite Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. And I say that because like he looks like the stereotypical New York like high school kid, like, and it just works for me. I don't know, probably because I grew up with it. Whatever. Tobey Maguire. Favorite, what did I say? Batman. Batman's Christian Bale, but I think I'm going to like this new dude.
Robert Pattinson.
I'm just gonna call him the vampire. And favorite supervillain is I fuck with Bane hard because Tom Hardy is insanely talented and he kills that role. And then What was the other one? Favorite cinematic movie? Lone Survivor or Saving Private Ryan?
Dude, movies wise, like favorites.
It's hard.
Jesus, man.
It's
Like,
hard because I watch so
I don't,
many.
because like, just chilling and relaxing. I'm gonna click on a comedy because I can mindlessly listen and watch to it.
Yeah.
But man, dude, that is such a tough question for me. I don't even know if I can answer it. in
But
terms
like
of
not
favorite.
a comedy, like cinematic movie that you've been like, holy shit, that was insane.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I was
Oh,
gonna.
that's
I
a
was thinking
really,
that one
really
too.
good
I was
one.
thinking that
Just
one too.
overall, the Wolf of Wall Street. I like The Revenant too.
Yep. The Revenant's really, really good. That got Leo his first award, right? His
Mhm.
first Oscar or whatever.
Speaking of, you know who deserves one?
Margot Robbie.
Johnny Depp.
I like him a lot actually.
Yeah, but Margot Robbie though. And
Dude,
Wolf of Wall Street.
Margot Robbie, bro, can catch all kinds of whatever,
Of-
just
yeah,
anything
anything.
you want.
Hey, y'all aren't gonna get this unless you're true fans of Margot Robbie, but you can come tattoo my toe, sweetheart.
I do know what you're talking about because I follow her on freaking Instagram. I know what you mean because I seen her post about that shit before.
I watched her do it live on I forget what show it was, but she tattooed one of the other. He was an actor. Tattooed his toe.
I don't give a shit about any of that. All I care
Bro,
about is that scene where
there-
she's in the baby's bedroom. That's all I care about.
Bro. No, bro. I like where she looks at him in that movie and is like, we're not going to be friends. You're absolutely fucking right, sweetheart. We aren't.
My favorite shit.
Absolutely
He
not.
goes, who? She goes, what are you, a fucking owl?
Dude, the water to the face, bro. Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Love that shit.
Margot
Dude,
Robbie.
Hold up. We were touching on movies, bro. I want to get into some TV shows though.
All right.
Like that's like
Yeah, we just closed out the movie one.
yeah,
so
bro.
hit me with the TV.
Dude.
Go ahead.
So, in terms of TV shows, like what are your guys' themes? Like what like if you have to sit down and watch something, like what's your niche when it comes to a TV show?
I don't
Like,
really
what draws you in?
I don't really have one. I'll read the descriptions and stuff like that, but a lot of times you read descriptions and stuff, they're really vague and don't really tell you what it's about. So I just have to start watching, and if I'm not interested, and same thing for movies, I'll give you 5 minutes in the intro. If it doesn't pull me in and I'm like, I want to know what this is about. I want to know the storyline, or I'm already somewhat attached to a character, then I'll watch it. If that doesn't happen, I close out and I go to something else.
Dude, so for me, it's got to be. I don't do like a minute because you don't even allow a plot to build within minutes. So for me, I give it like 3 episodes.
I'm not even
of a
saying
show.
a plot. I need in the first 5 minutes, I need something to happen, or I need there to be some sort of substance where I'm like,
To suck you in.
I want to know more. I want to watch more and consume
Yeah,
more.
that's why I give it like 3 episodes because sometimes you don't get that right out of the gate. Because sometimes like it'll start off a little boring. Like for me, I already knew the characters in the originals from like the Vampire Diaries spinoff or whatever. But in the originals, the first episode was mad boring. Like you turned it on, and you're
For
like,
what? For what?
The originals. So the Vampire Diaries is
Oh.
a story, and then the originals started their own
Yeah.
off of that. But that like the first couple episodes were mad boring, but I already knew the characters and like how fucking kick ass they were. So I was like, I'm gonna just give it some time. And then bro, there was like a 3rd episode, Klaus just starts de-heading people, ripping hearts out, fucking people up. I'm like, yes, this is why I watched this show.
I'll
Yeah.
agree with that, but there have been times where I've watched a couple episodes and I'm still like, I don't fucking like
Yeah,
it.
me too. It all depends. Like there's this one show on Netflix, I think it's called like Bloodlines or some shit.
Bro.
Dude, I hated it. It was boring. I was like, bro, I get that there's all this shit going on, but
Yeah, you gotta be in the mood to watch that show. Like the show's slow, but like what happens is nuts.
yeah.
Like you it's one of those shows that you have to wait on to get to the point where you're like, whoa, that's not good.
Right.
Like that's what you have to wait for. I only enjoy those shows when like I'm really in the mood to like sit there, like to sit down and understand what's going on. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna miss like important little things that happen. It's like I've seen that. I don't recommend it, but I think it's a really good show.
But dude, I'd have
Or
to say like
a good show.
my overall taste though are those 20 to 30 minute episodes, short like
The
what
Ranch.
are they called? Sitcoms.
Have you
Is that
watched
what
The
they're called?
Ranch?
Yeah, I've seen all of The Ranch, New Girl, The Office.
Mhm. I
That
like
is
those.
my shit. I would have to, dude. I've been on this New Girl kick here lately.
Bro, it's a good show. Have you
Bro.
seen it?
I'm on season 4.
Oh my god, do you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good
Dude,
show.
it's
See,
fucking hilarious.
It's weird for me though, because I'm much more of a movie person. Like when I watch TV shows or TV series, if it's one I haven't seen, I'll watch it, and then
Yeah.
as soon as I'm done, I will not touch another like TV series or something for 4, 5, 6 months. I'm just
Yeah.
movie.
You gotta like go through the checklist of TV shows on Netflix. So like you have to have watched The Office. You have to have watched Breaking Bad.
Nope.
Okay,
Bro,
well you
dude,
gotta get
well,
on
if-
it.
well, if
You gotta
you're
watch
watching
Breaking
New
Bad.
Girl, then you would like The Office, because The Office.
I mean, I've
is
seen
good.
episodes of The Office. and
The
it's
Office is
funny.
very dry humor to me.
It's just hard for me,
Dude,
like
it's
if there's
fucking
so
hilarious.
many, like I'm more of a movie person. If there's so many seasons and episodes, it's hard for me to be like, all right, I gotta watch it, and then I just start grinding out episode after episode. I'll literally watch 12, 14 episodes, and I'm like, damn, I didn't.
You
do
you
nothing.
gotta watch The Ranch, but there's
I have seen The Ranch.
The Ranch is funny as fuck, and then there's what. Continue what you were gonna say. I forgot what
Bro.
movie or TV show I was gonna talk about.
Well, I think, dude, the reason why I think Dakota would like The Office, because like, I would say like you are a pretty funny guy, but like the way that you like
Thank you.
come up with your own jokes is very different from how I would make my jokes or how he would make his jokes. And The Office is like right up your alley.
Yeah.
I remember what I was
Like
gonna say.
that's why I think you would like it.
The Last Kingdom on Netflix is
Pretty good.
Is fucking sick. So like it's one of those shows where like you have to be interested in like the past, like it's like the BC, like they're trying to make a united England and they're fighting Danes like the Vikings, and the main character is like he's not bouncing back
That shit
both
was cool.
sides, but he's an Englishman who was raised because his village was like taken over by Danes, and then he was a prisoner. He was raised by Danes, and now he's like, who do I fight for? Like, where are my allegiances? And so that show is really good if you like violence and shit like that. And another one I recommend for anyone looking for Netflix is The Kingdom, or just I think it's just
I've seen that one
Kingdom,
too.
and it's about UFC fighters, and Nick Jonas is in it, or Nick Jonas,
Nick Jonas.
the dude in Warrior, the coach, is in it.
I don't know
He's-
his name though.
Yeah,
as,
he's
an
like the
actor.
dad, and then the dude from Friday Night Lights is in it.
Which one?
The blonde kid, Luke Cafferty.
Okay. Yeah.
He is in it, and he's like a main character, and he's really good. Have you seen Friday Night Lights?
The TV show?
Yeah.
The movie, yes.
The
Friday Night
TV
Lights, the
show's
TV
really
show
good.
is really good. You gotta watch
To me,
the
the
TV show.
TV show was better than the movie
Yup,
was, but
same.
I really liked the movie.
I really like the movie. See, like some of my favorite TV show series that I've watched, obviously like One Tree Hill, The Vampire Diaries. I've seen both of those multiple times.
Same.
I've seen the originals, New Girl, The Ranch. The Ranch is hilarious. But
so funny.
I grew up like before school, and on Sunday mornings when I was at my grandparents' house, I'd wake up and I'd watch. I forget the name of the show, but it was the one that came on right before Buffy or Angel. I used to watch Angel, then I'd watch Buffy, and then I'd watch Charmed. Every morning, that was my shit.
Bro,
I remember Buffy.
Drake and Josh was
Yup.
my shit.
Yup.
Drake and Josh is an exception. If you don't like Drake and Josh, I don't want to be friends with you.
Dude, that's a
Rocket
fact.
Power.
Love that shit.
Um,
I would say
From
late
our
at
childhood,
night,
though, that's
George
totally
Lopez, bro. Do you ever remember those times where
Waking
you're,
up in the middle of the night.
you can't fucking sleep, like you fall asleep,
And you
and then
just-
you're like tossing and turning. 3 a.m. hits, and you're like, God,
That's
bless
gonna
it.
that's gonna
TV
be our
Lopez
intro.
show.
George Lopez.
dude,
Love
Power
George
Rangers
Lopez,
was
bro.
my shit when I was younger.
Yeah, I was the white Power Ranger.
What was that? What was that TV show that they had that it was with I think it was like Zoe 101, where
Yeah.
she's like at a boarding school.
Yep,
I
I like
liked
that one
I
too.
liked that show.
See, but the childhood shows are different. Those are obviously classics. We grew
What
up.
about
watching
Boy
this. I'm
Meets
talking about
World?
like now.
That was my next one I was gonna
Saved
say.
by the Bell.
Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World
I've
outdoes any other kids TV show.
That one
there
was good.
fucking is.
I
I've seen
liked it.
Saved by the Bell more times than I can count, and
Yeah.
I've watched it more times than I'd like to admit.
Bro, I'll actually. So one of my favorite TV shows on Netflix currently that really just gets my blood going, that I fucking love it, is Lucifer, bro.
Yeah, you do fuck
Oh
with that show.
I fuck with that show so hard, bro. His like he's Welsh, I think, but bro, his accent and like his witty ass fucking jokes he makes, hilarious,
Never
bro.
seen it.
Dude, okay. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you,
It's
but there's
good.
this like there's like a romantic plot line, and then there's like character plot line that's
Yeah.
building up throughout the whole thing, bro.
Yeah.
And since he's the fucking devil, obviously, because the name of the show, when he fucking looks at this bitch and goes, "You finally ready to do your dance with the devil?" and he like blasts his wings out of his back and like scoops her up, and they start fucking for the first time, bruh.
It's a
that
good.
shit-
It's a
Dude,
good show. It's
dude,
a good show.
He's funny.
What
bro.
was that movie with Brendan Fraser when he had to deal with the devil, and it was that girl, the dark-haired girl? I don't remember. It was an older movie.
Talking about the Mummy.
No.
Brendan Fraser, dude.
I don't
Speaking
remember-
of
I don't remember
speaking
the
of
name
Brandon
of it.
Fraser though, the Mummy is a good movie too. The Mummy
Yeah,
and the
those are
Mummy
good.
Returns, and then they fucked it up when they did the new version of the Mummy where it's like in China. They fucked it up. They had the right idea because they brought the kid. They had the kid. He's an explorer like his parents, trying to go after like the mummies and shit like that to like explore. They had the right idea, and then they made it cheesy. They brought in like yetis and shit to like fight the battles. It was so fucking cheesy. I was pissed.
Bedazzled was the movie I was talking about.
I know what that. Yeah,
Dazzled.
I've seen it literally like once or twice, and that's
Sounds
about it.
familiar.
It's like from like 2000 or something. Like it's
Damn.
older.
Yeah,
It's a
really.
good movie.
Yeah,
But
it's
dude,
crazy.
Obviously,
TV
we can go
show-
on and on about movies and TV shows for
I
days.
can literally.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. bro.
Clearly, this is a good topic to talk about.
We may have to come back later and do
Yeah.
a part 2.
Put your favorite movie and TV show below in the comments, or DM us on
And then we'll
Instagram,
talk about them.
and we'll have a conversation.
Let us know any of the the Batmans, the Spider-Man, stuff like that. Let us know what you think about those. Which one's your favorite? If you agree or disagree with us, you lost.
I know.
Subscribe.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
It's free.
Turn on that post notification, and we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. Also, remember to vote, guys. It's very important.
Yeah, it's really important. Well, today's November 3rd, so by the time you hear this, you're either at the voting booth or you already voted. So good job, or get your ass to the voting booth.
Woohoo! Peace, guys.